everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be discussing a lesser known Clint Eastwood movie. Actually, this movie is Clint's funniest movie of the 80s, and it's also one of his biggest flops. Now, in the 80s, Clint did a lot of films, movies such as Heartbreak Ridge and Firefox, and he did The Deadpool, which was his final Dirty Harry film. So he mixed it up throughout that decade, and he did this little film called Pink Cadillac at the close of the decade in 1989, and his co-star in this one is Bernadette Peters. So Clint and Bernadette Peters are very good in this film together. They share some nice chemistry, but for whatever reason, this film was a big, dismal flop. Now, throughout the years, you will probably know that in Hollywood, sometimes they make twos of certain films. Like back in the 90s, they did 2 Robin Hood films, and then back in the late 90s, they did 2 volcano movies. So certain trends and things lend themselves to 2 of something being made. So how things went is Clint was inspired to make this film due to the success of Midnight Run. And back in the late 80s, Clint felt that the time was right to dabble with action comedy again, and he sunk his teeth into Pink Cadillac. Now, he didn't direct this film. This was directed by one of his longtime stunt coordinators, and Clint stepped aside and just focused on the acting part of this one. And Clint really tries to throw in everything into this film. He puts on disguises, he uses voices, he plays a bounty hunter that is just out to catch his criminal at whatever the cost, and it just so happens in this film, it's Bernadette Peters. So anyway, Pink Cadillac tried to do something that another very successful movie had just done. And that movie was Midnight Run. That was a mismatched buddy film. And it was also a bounty hunter film where Robert De Niro was trying to bring in Charles Grodin. So it was a bounty hunter film, a crime film. It was an action comedy. It also had a fantastic script. So this movie, in a way, was kind of prepped and made due to a trend where De Niro and Grodin had just scored a hit with a bounty hunter film. And I suppose Clint felt that it could work. He brought in an actress to play opposite him, and it became a buddy film with a difference, him and a female. Now, Clint obviously felt that he could do what De Niro was doing and take things a little bit further and maybe try to put on some disguises and do some voice work and try to catch criminals in a unique way that he hadn't explored before. So this is a mismatched pairing, Clint and Bernadette Peters. It's a buddy movie. Well, it turns into that as it goes along. You're really behind the two of them. But for whatever reason, it came out at the American box office and it just flopped. And Pink Cadillac just couldn't withstand any other opposition at the time, and Pink Cadillac, when it was released in the US, just faded away. I think they sunk almost $20 million into this film, and it wound up grossing about $12 million. And for a Clint Eastwood film, that is pretty poor, really. So yeah, overall, this film didn't fare well with the critics. They were pretty mixed or negative. And as far as Clint's performance goes, he's really trying to do something different. He's showing that he's a true actor and he can do different things. And I like that approach. He's not just delivering those stoic one-liners. There's a real fluidity here to his performance, and he's having a ball. So it's Clint like you've never seen him before. It's very different to those monkey films that he did. This is really more an acting piece. And Bernadette Peters is a good actress, and Clint had to step it up and impress. And step it up, he certainly does. So really, Pink Cadillac features a very underrated Clint performance. And it's just a lot of fun seeing him, in some ways, ham it up. And as far as this being Clint's funniest movie in the 80s, Well, if you look through his 80s catalogue, many people would tell you that Heartbreak Ridge was hilarious. That film had a lot of great Clint one-liners. Sudden Impact also came out in the 80s, and that had some fantastic one-liners. And right at the beginning of the 80s, Clint released that final monkey movie, Any Which Way You Can, and that had a lot of laughs. But this really was trying to amp up the comedy. And Clint is not taking it seriously here. He is really going for it. And watching him go for it is part of the fun. So yeah, this really is Clint's funniest film of the 80s. In fact, it's so funny at times that you sometimes forget you're watching Clint Eastwood, because it's definitely not your usual Clint performance. And I do think it's a fun movie. It's not a bullseye, and I really think it deserved better. So this is a movie that got lost in the shuffle at the box office. It's rather underrated. It's not fantastic, but in Clint Eastwood's catalogue, this is a low-key oddity that offers a different style of Eastwood. And it's fun seeing him have fun. So if you're a Clint Eastwood fan and you've never experienced Pink Cadillac, it's really well worth a look. So that just about does it. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you all again very soon.